Okay, so before the RPMs got crazy, like above 2,000 at idle, I noticed there was a whistle when I started up the car very frequently, and that started about a month and a half ago. Okay, and that started after I was on a dirt road back in Oregon, and I got caked in mud on the side of my car all over, and I suspect that maybe I got some nasty dust in this air filter. It's supposed to be lifetime, but maybe I need to change it. I turned it on and I was looking to see if this yellow thing would go into the red, but it didn't move. It stayed in the green. Either way, the whistling's kind of stopped, and now I'm struggling with RPMs whenever I shift out of gear. So I gotta. And I talked to a transmission specialist yesterday, and he said it could be a multitude of things, but one of the first things he mentioned was that air sensor could be tripping. I don't know anything about that, but I suspect maybe the air filter would cause air sensor to have issues. So it's something I need to look into, but I kind of need an oil change, and that's partly why I'm at the Walmart Oil Auto Center. Alright, well, I spent a lot of time researching what potential problems could be with my car, and I think I've come to the conclusion that it's the air intake control mechanism. I spent quite a bit of time looking at the PCV, but I don't think this car uses a PCV. Alright, somebody gave an email back. I put out a little ad on Craigslist saying that I need some help. I got mechanics answered right away, and then a couple of volunteers who just wanted to give some input, some helpful input. And the last email I received talked about the air intake control valve thing. I wrote it down. I parked kind of close to the Ford dealership. Idle air valve to control idle speed. So I want to have that looked at a little bit closer. So that's what I'm focusing on. It's something to do with a vacuum system, and it doesn't seem like any of the tubes would be leaking, because I would be losing power, I think. But I seem to be taking in a lot of air. Alright, because it really wants to open up the throttle on me when I take the foot off the gas and stay above 2,000 RPMs. Like it's getting a lot of air to really make it fire off. I need to be able to constrict that air, because it's actually warming up my engine a lot faster, a lot more. I mean, on a hot day, my engine would blow up. I need to keep it cool. I need to have that throttle down if I want to continue driving it into the summertime. And the air intake valve is not cheap. It's $50 or $60. But I just watched a video of some guy who cleaned his. He didn't even replace it. It looks like some labor to get to his, and I bet it's laborious to get to mine. I'm not even sure where it's at. There's still so much to learn about this. I mean, I'm going to try to go over to the Ford dealership, see what they say. Because internet pictures and videos aren't exactly covering what I need them to for my situation. Where is this thing? And all that. Alright, so this is a Kendall. Several things that they do, but there's Ford that they work with, I believe. Or maybe not. Either I'm going to the Ford Service Center to see how they can help me. I'm looking for like the service area.
So right behind those TVs, those are right here.
Yeah, all right, this is a service area for like repairs and stuff, okay. Well, I don't know, one or the other, I'm not sure exactly. I have a Ford Focus 2004, and like the problem is that when I release the gas, the RPMs will keep going and then slowly come down. I think it's the idle air valve, and I want to have that cleaned. Well, I want to identify it. I don't know exactly where it's located.
Okay. If you're looking for that part,
yeah,
the parts department has exploded views they can show you, so they may.
I'm interested in that, right?
Okay, and if that doesn't work out, you decide you need some.
Could you quote like replacing that?
I'd have to get the parts department to give me a part price and get a hold of a technician, but.
Yeah, it's just I want to learn, as I'm going too, and I kind of have an idea that that's probably the problem, and I'm focusing on it. Also, I probably need that vacuum, like seal
Sounds
type.
like right now you need parts. If you decide you want a technician to do it, then I can help you.
Well, I'll talk to parts. Where are they located?
Right this way. You just follow the tiles here to the end. On your right hand side will be the parts department.
Before I went to Duratec, I was a restaurant.
I might be interested in a part. I'm not sure exactly, either that or service. I want to be able to identify the problem a little bit better. I have a 2004 Ford Focus, and the problem is that when I let go of the gas, it keeps revving at the high RPMs, above 2,000, and it slowly comes back down. I think it's the idle control valve that might be stuck.
Right.
The airflow, it's getting too much air. That's why it keeps going.
It is, Glendon.
And it seems to happen when it's
minute.
the engine's warmed up a little bit too. I don't understand, but I'm interested in what
I got a bumper
the
cover in
location
this morning.
where the part is and
It's all
what it looks
scratched
like.
I got pictures. I just
would
wanted to send them
where would it be
pictures.
located on my car?
Whoever, Intermountain, whoever dragged that sucker around. So.
All right, so I went to the Ford Motor service area. I had to walk through the sales floor to get to the service area, and then there was like a long line of there's like 4 representatives for service waiting. I talked to the first service guy and explained my problem. And then I told him specifically what I wanted to do, and that's when he said, well, it sounds more like I needed to go to the parts guy, because I pretty much said what I wanted to do. And then he directed me to the parts guy, so I went to the parts guy and got some information and pricing on the air intake thingy. The air intake idle air control. Alright, so I got these pieces of paper. Alright, so I got prices on them. Alright, and it's the information about that. I don't know, I still couldn't interpret where it was, so I asked, if since it's attached to the manifold, where maybe I could get some information on the manifold. So I got this second piece of paper, and I still don't understand where these parts are. I need to spend some time looking at it. So I got that. All right, and then apparently they don't have the idle air control in. It's $170. Wow. I was seeing like $50 on the internet for them, but maybe I got the product wrong. But it's a 2-day wait they're located in Salt Lake City, Utah. So at that point, I was like, okay, thank you for your help. I went back to the service counter to try to get some price quotes, and I was like, okay, this is what I want to do. I want to replace or clean the idle air control. And he's like, well, has your check engine light been on? And I'm like, well, it's been on for years. And he looks over at his counter buddy and smiles like, I think they like the josh about that type of thing with each other. And then I asked him, how much is that? And he's like, well, we got to run an analysis. And so I'm like, okay, not too interested in that. But all right, what's the cost of that? Yeah, they pretty much they're adamant. All right, they have to go through their procedures with their service. All right, you can't say I want this done. They have to start from the bare minimum, which is the analysis. Always, they always do that, and that's $110 up front. It's like for insurance purposes or something. So I tried. I was like, okay, that's all right. You do that. Now I request, the air intake valve to be replaced. He's like, well, we have to see what the reading says first. And that's when I walked out. You either do it yourself, get the parts from them, the inflated price parts, or you go through their procedure with the service. So Ford is pretty stuck in their ways with that. So I'm just looking. I'm gonna have to either do it myself or go to a mom and pop.